You are listening to The Alex Way.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Alex Way podcast. This is your host, Alex Moraes. I am a director of coaching here in a youth club in the US, as well as an assistant coach with Olympic development program that is with US Youth Soccer, coaching hopefully the future youth national kiddos of the United States of America. And at the same time, I am a goalkeeper coach for East Central College. I used to play professionally back in Honduras as a goalkeeper. And now I'm here having a lot of fun meeting professionals and speaking to fans, coaches, as well as players, whether it's amateur, youth, academy level, or professional, even semi-professionally. Today I have a lot of joy because I will be speaking with a young, upcoming, and really amazing coach and physical trainer slash many other things, who is already at that top level you and I probably would like to be one day. But before anything, I just want to remind you, don't forget to um, follow us, subscribe, and support this podcast, this channel, my social media, and just to look me up with the hashtag The Alex Way in Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So also you can go and use within the details or down here, you can check that we have a PayPal if you would like to financially also support this project. Otherwise, remember to like and share and spread the word about what we're doing here. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce you to my guest for this episode. And ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Central Eastern Europe, he is originally from Croatia. He is right now a uh, physical trainer and also or strength and conditioning. There it is. Also coach, very passionate about the game football, as they call it, soccer as they do here, and that is Coach Darijo Anić-Kremić from HNK Hajduk Split. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hi, Coach. Nice to meet you.
Absolutely. How are you doing today?
Great. Actually, it's a free day today, so I'm enjoying at the moment with my family and enjoyed the sun today. So yeah, here is evening actually.
Yeah. So tell me about that. It's how many hour difference from here? Probably 6 hours.
We are 7.5 hours different.
Okay.
Seven,
Wow.
7 hours. Sorry, 7 hours difference.
Okay. Awesome.
Big,
Well,
big difference. Gotta admit it.
it is. It is a big difference. Wow. So good to have you here, and I'm so grateful for your time because obviously the way we met was very interesting. At least I thought. I know that you had liked one of my posts for the podcast, and it was via Instagram. So thank goodness for social media. And next thing I know, I was just reviewing the feed, try to be as responsive as I can, and I saw you, and then I went in and I thought, the username, man from the shadow, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
but the picture seemed to be professional. So I went to your Instagram account and I started to scroll down, and you kept me there, believe it or not, for a few minutes. And I saw accomplishments, achievements, passion, dedication, leadership, exactly what the podcast is all about. But most importantly, the fact that you seem to be a young coach who's already in first in the first sort of like world of soccer in your country. That's with HNK Hajduk Split. And so we'll talk about that because I'm sure everybody's gonna wonder how in the world did he make it. But first, how about if we address the question, who is Darijo Anić-Kremić.
Thank you for these nice words and to introduce me on such nice with nice words actually. Uh, who am I? I'm just the young boy who has a passion for soccer and strength and conditioning. Who is from a really small town, and I just got to admit to you that it's a great pleasure to be from a small town with such a passion, because people that you have behind you from your hometown, from your city, just like you and support you in everything that you do. And yeah, that's what I can say. For me, I like to learn a lot of for my job, for strength and conditioning coach, to be better strength and conditioning coach. And actually, that's it. Who am I? Just a young fellow.
That's awesome. Now tell me, you seem to be someone who's very approachable. You give me such good vibes. I'm sure you're giving the same to our listeners as well as our viewers. But are you this way on the pitch or at the gym or while you analyze every situation you have to analyze?
Oh no! They called me like a chief, because like, or a general, as you wish, because I like to keep everything as it's supposed to be. I like to keep everything controlled, and when we done our job or a training, then I'm like easy to talk and everything. But during the training, I like to be focused on what we need to do and what we're supposed to do, and to do it on the highest level that we can, 110%. That's what I ask for from my players to do. So actually, I'm not that easy coach that goes like, oh, you're okay. No, if it's not okay, it's not okay. To, I want a few that you do it better. That's why I'm here. I suppose that should be like that.
Exactly. Good. So we're getting to know a bit more about your coaching style, huh? That
Yeah, yeah.
intensity, that passion, and that seriousness, commitment you have to your job. Um, so tell me what. Um, why don't we just provide some context about your background? You said you're from Croatia, but are your parents Croatians? Do you have family in another country? I mean, because we know better, Europe is a mix of cultures, right? So,
Yeah.
could you tell us about your hometown and all sorts of things?
Yeah, actually, I'm born on the island, or island of Brač, in like the biggest city on island. Actually, I think it's just one city, and it's called Supetar. But I'm born here. My parents are not from here. My dad is from Knin. That's like the middle of Dalmatia region that I live in. And my mom is actually born in France, but her parents were back in the days from Yugoslavia, which was back in the day, and then we separated, like
Yeah.
on Croatia and other and other nationals, countries, as you wish. And yeah, but she came back when she was, I think, 12 or 13 years old, and later she met my dad. And as my dad is a cop in
Wow.
the war, they arrived here on the island. He got his job here, and yeah, that was it. Actually, that's how I was born here and raised here. And it's, gotta admit, it was great to live here till my I had, I think, 14. I was 14 years old when I left the island. I went into first into Zagreb, then I got back to Split, and yeah, that was it actually. That that
Interesting. And hold up a second. What are what else could describe you in terms of hobbies? Do you have any sort of hobbies outside of the football world, and why not?
yeah. Of course, I like to be in private when it's not like everything about the football. I like to keep the things for myself. I play a little bit. I'm teaching to play a little bit of guitar. That's my
Wow.
passion. I'm passionate for music, and when I'm free from a job, because it's a full-time job, I go for a little bit of travel to Europe for now on, and that's actually it. I don't have a plenty of free time, which is a problem, a little bit problem, but yeah. That's the thing. Those are the things that I like to do, and
Hmm.
share some thoughts with my friends and colleagues, coaches as well. And yeah, that's who am I actually. Not
That's
plenty of
super
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, there's not plenty of stuff, but I like
No,
to. I
I
like
think it's plenty. There's plenty of fun there.
yeah, the traveling is most exciting things that the most exciting thing that I do actually. Uh,
Mhm.
and we can say that I'm like adrenaline addict. I tried bungee jumping. Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
Free climbing also with my colleague on a faculty, and it was great. I like those kinds of things, and yeah, hopefully one day it's in my mind, not for now. I will swim from my island till Split. It's 1 hour with the ferry, so it's around, I think, a little bit less than 20 kilometers. But
Wow,
I will try
that
that.
is crazy.
I will
So
try that.
that's probably around 22 miles, and I just say the miles because of the U.S. The system in the U.S. is mileage, but
Yeah,
but then all around the world, in my home country, Honduras, Croatia, it seems to be kilometers. So I get it for sure. That is very, very interesting. What a fascinating life, huh? You
yeah.
are a risk taker by
Yeah,
nature.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just
exactly.
jump. Let's just jump the bridge. So,
Exactly, coach.
that's
Yeah,
so funny.
risk everything. You need to risk everything from day to
Exactly.
day.
That's what gets you going. So
Exactly.
that's fun. I mean, I'm someone who loves dangerous situations, as long as there's some sort of security per se. For instance, I went zip lining, I think it's called. You're
Oh,
hanging from this cable,
yeah,
and
I tried
it
that.
it's super cool. It's the I went to the tallest. I recommend you this one. It's in Honduras, in the north. And let me see. Yeah, in the north west, no, northeast coast. Um, it's the tallest and the longest zip line. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, seeing this
Maybe
like
one day, maybe
villagers.
one day,
Maybe one day.
one day, hopefully.
That's funny. So let's get into this. So I know for a fact that when you play soccer, because you played football, right? You grew up with the sport. It's the Europe, one of Europe's traditional sports for sure. And I would like to touch on what was your playing experience like? If you can give me a little bit more of that context. Did you play all the way semi-professionally, professionally, only youth? What was that like, and when did you stop, unless you continue to play?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I stopped really early. Back in the days, I started to play with only 4 years when I was only 4 years old. One of the coaches on the island said you can come and train with us, and there were all the children that were older than me, and but I fit in because I was a bigger child. I was like a strong one, and I could deal with them in the football, and it was great. Then like till 14 14 years old, I think, with 14. Uh, I went on some trial in Zagreb and it passed well. But I was there just for a couple of months, got my knee injured, and arrived back to the island of Brač. And actually, we were good here. My generation was good. 95 and 96 generation was really good. We were champions of this region that I live. Like it's like the most famous region because all of the Croatian national players, most of them probably, like Luka Modric, Ivan Perisic, Lovre Kalinic now, they all were competing into this, not with me actually, but
Sure.
yeah, I played like against Marko Livaja, who is like famous player. I played against Toma Basic and with him, and it was amazing. But yeah, and it was great actually. But yeah, my knee said you cannot do it. I could try to come back to the game, but yeah, I wasn't for sure. Do I want that? And
Sure.
since I wasn't 110% sure in that, I said like, okay, you can come back and be at your home place, hometown, and just to have fun because you're still like, I was still a child. My parents said me, okay, you can come back. It's fine. You didn't lose anything. There's plenty of time for you. And then I played with 15 years old. Yeah, with 15, I already came back to my hometown to play here, and we were in a league. I was in a league of under 19,
Okay.
and I was the youngest player actually, and we ended second.
Wow.
And yeah, just 1 point behind the first one. It was great. And yeah, that was actually it. After that, with 15, I stopped. I was like more into learning new things, new skills, and things like that. So I went for 4 years into kickboxing to do a strength to strengthen that knee and all the regions that I love, like upper body. I also love to work on that. And from time to time, I consider myself to be more into teaching those things and into, I saw myself more as a coach, not as a professional boxer or player or whatever. So I
Right.
said to
Absolutely.
myself, yeah, uh, you will go on a college and learn more about that. So that's how I decided to to like, it was more a call to help people, who pass through injuries, to hard times, to everything, and to prevent that also. That was like my call for to be coach actually. Yeah.
That's it's interesting, and I mean it. The question that I have though is, how do you not become passionate about turning into a football manager or football coach, and what in the world happened to you to go into the strength and conditioning arena? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems to me like most folks, we play the sport, and then it's like, maybe I'll coach if you want to do anything in the soccer world afterwards. So what was your motivation then?
Actually, when I was preparing myself for going on a trial, I had a big coach, Mirko Krolo, who was like great strength and conditioning coach. He was a personal trainer of Tony Kukoc, Dino Raja, who are big NBA stars. He was a strength and conditioning coach of Mario Ančić, And so he gave me some passion for like weights and the sprinting and how to sprint and everything, biomechanic and everything. So I was like, I looked at him as something bigger,
Interesting.
than,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Fascinating.
my older brother Mario, he also started kinesiology back in the days. So we were talking a little bit to each other. What do you like? How do you like? Why? Because la la la. And it was great, to have both of them on the first year. And yeah, that's how I went into strength and conditioning, and not to be a head coach actually, because it was like plenty, you have plenty of informations inside of strength and conditioning, and I like some new things to learn, something new, always something new. And
Of
strength and
course.
conditioning in soccer is a really like new area in
Hmm.
football. Because like coaches thought back in the days, head coaches and managers, football managers, as you wish, thought that strength and conditioning coach need to be just on prep season, not through whole year of competition.
For
And
sure.
now they're in a whole year, and I think that's a good thing. So that's how I find myself into strength and conditioning through
Wow.
my.
But you had to prepare for this, correct? Because it's not like I sign up for a certificate for a 1 hour course or 2 weeks course, and now I'm a qualified strength and conditioning person. Like, what do you need to do to be an actual true professional, if that makes sense?
Here we have a faculty of kinesiology, which is like for all of the sports, but there is like one part of the faculty that gives you that you can be like strength and conditioning coach or physical coach as you wish. And I decided to go for that. And yeah, and after that you need to invest a lot of time, because they give you like the basic things. And if you want to be in the pro club, you need to teach more and more and more. It's just like base, they give you the base, and then you spread your like your knowledge through all those seminars and books and whatever you like to learn and how you like to learn.
Absolutely. Now, is this is interesting. So that's the standard in Croatia for someone who would like to become a physical trainer, a
Yeah.
certified professional physical trainer. You got to go through that process of getting educated, and the education. Does that really help you in the industry?
Yeah, because without that, I wouldn't be here actually at the moment. uh, you get to know new guys, new professors that were coaches or are coaches currently. So you got to know them, they will know you, and you need to be passionate about something so you can show them your skills and things like that. So they all look on something to, you need to show yourself actually.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
actually, if you are not passionate for, I don't know, biomechanic, they will not recommend you in some sorts of things, and yeah, that's why I think that it's a great start for every young person to start to go on college actually, where are plenty of people where you can meet like anybody. I think in I met like a bunch of people who were like good for sailing, as a sailing coach or as a tennis coach, and it was amazing. You know, they
Now,
went
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
they went to some sort of things that I think I will maybe never be, or hopefully I will be. but they were in Olympic Village, and it's amazing to know those people who stand behind the great players.
Absolutely. That is, to me, that's what a standard. That's impressive. Um, I I'm looking. I mean, I look at your country, and you have told me that there is a standard of education. Then I look at the economic side of Croatia, and it seems to me that they're developing this high income service based economy, and so there seems to be some sort of a decent income per capita, right, every month in euros. So uh, is this a fact? In fact, actually, let me guide the question here. Is education in the football industry something that's affordable, or is it truly expensive? Is it a large investment?
Oh, actually, the country here, if you're good at the high school, they give you like a free, I don't know how, free entrance through college. You don't need to pay the college for yourself, as it's in the US. It's
Sure.
a it's a big difference here. I know that there is a lot of things that are wow, but here actually that's not the fact. You can learn for free and you can go on college for free. Actually, you just pay some taxes that you need
Okay.
to, yeah,
But you don't
to.
have to meet any sort of requirements, don't you? Or do you have to maintain a certain grade? Because we all know that in Europe there seems to be that blessing to the Europeans when it comes to their higher education, right? The affordability and being able to get in. But besides the taxes, do you have to maintain or keep a certain sort of grading score?
Yeah, we have like some kind of rules, let's say. So you need to pass every subject through a year. So you cannot, like, let's say, so you have some subject, I don't know, it's a soccer, and it's on the second year, let's say so. And if you don't like pass that, you need to pay some amount of money.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's like that makes sense for me. And
Sure.
if you're a good student and deal with everything, pass everything, every subject, then you're fine. You don't need to pay anything just for entrance for next year, which is not a big bunch of money.
Right. Now, what does it, I mean, and now to deviate ourselves from the economics portion, that was the
Exactly.
only thing I always try to, to put some food, to try to ask questions that are food for thought for our viewers and listeners. But now let's get into the football aspect of things. So, how would you describe Croatian style of soccer, of football? What is the style of football? What took you to the final of the previous World Cup, you think?
It's amazing question. It's a hard question actually. We had I got to admit you, we had plenty of luck, but I think that individual characteristics of every player, and they had a big amount of time in that they were playing in their club, actually, and a great leader, which or great manager, coach, whatever you want, Zlatko Dalic, who is I think great motivational coach, and that he has great knowledge about the coaching, uh, and got to tell you that we had just I think to my opinion we had just one big heart. We were like breathing I mean them, our national team, they were breathing as once. They were if somebody loses the ball, they all run into defend.
Absolutely.
And I think that that was like the biggest thing in our national team that lead us till the finals. And I mean we played 3 games in a row with extra time and finished 2 of them, I think, with penalties. And it's like,
What a what an exhausting situation
exactly.
from a physical standpoint. In how do you, I mean, that's where someone like you comes into play, correct?
Exactly.
And to me, the impressive thing is, how do you recover most of these players, because not all of them were recovered, obviously, but how do you recover them in such a short amount of time? That's where you need someone like Dario, right? uh, so Dario in your coaching staff. So this is now leading to one of my questions that I always wanted to ask a professional like you. um how how do you, so okay, just to give you an idea, because we talked about this a little bit off camera. I asked you the question, so what do you look for in a coach, in a head coach or a coaching staff, that you would say yes to that, to such project? And I remember you saying, well, um, I'm in a situation now at HNK Hajduk Split, right? In which, the coaches come in, they work a few years, and then someone comes in, new leadership style. You have to prove yourself so they can be, so they can consider you, and you can continue to keep your job, because we know this is, our professions are not stable. But if you had a say, because probably you will have a say, what would you look for in a coaching staff? Attention, coaches, if you want to hire Dario, this is the opportunity to take notes. What would you look
Exactly.
for in a
Uh,
coaching staff?
I would look for like a big passion of coach, and to see his previous clubs, how he managed them, how he deal with them, and that's like how I decided on. And of course, you need to know the person, the coach, the head coach, how he is in the private life, because you deal with each other like in a private life, and probably you need to be like true two brothers, like you need to be one big family, like whole stuff needs to be one big
Absolutely.
family. And that's my opinion, and there is like you need to leave your ego in front of the door. So me as a strength and conditioning coach, your head coach, your goalkeeping coach, they all listen to each other. And that's that's the great thing in a club. I think we all listen to each other, and it's a great even if I'm the youngest part of the staff, they consider me really really great. And they leave me my place, like conditioning and strength, for myself, and I help them to make the plan for everything. But yeah, I get off the team a little
No,
bit.
no, no. This is great. Keep going. This is quality. This is a quality answer. Keep going, please. Keep
Yeah,
going.
it's just I think that the biggest problem for or head coaches is they don't still believe in strength and conditioning,
Mm,
and then they try to do something that they are not. I would say, I don't know the word, but I would say legal to do. Let's say so. They try to do some new things that they don't know. Like for them, sprinting 5 seconds and 3 seconds and 10 seconds is sprinting. And we look at the capacities, at the speeds, at the biomechanic, at everything, and they just say it's a sprint. In 3 seconds you cannot reach max speed, and for them it's just. And then they try to fit into some plans and things like that that they're not maybe capable of. I know there are, for some teams that are unprofessional or semi-pro, they maybe don't have the money or
yeah,
finances
that's a
for
fact.
strength and
That's a
conditioning.
fact.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like for pro clubs, that should not be the place and the time for those coaches. I think so, to my opinion. Yeah, and
Yeah. No. No. Oh, go ahead.
it,
Go ahead.
it's a big difference if you like, let's say so. I saw plenty of coaches in Italy when I was in Italy on my personal travel. I saw plenty of coaches that like to do on the day of the game in the morning, let's say, so they like to do 100-meter sprinting, and you don't know what's with your player, can he recover from that till your game? I mean, it's like 8 hours apart from the game, and you're sprinting like 3 times 100 meters. uh, I don't know, will you be prepared for next game? That's
This is see, this
opinion.
is this is the valuable information. This is why I'm grateful you're here with us to shed some light and some knowledge,
Yeah,
knowledge about your uh, expertise in how this has an impact, whether it's positive or negative, whether you have the right or wrong person with you in terms of the physical aspect of the game. Here in the US, I can see in the youth level, in college level, club level, youth level, college level, um, perhaps a bit in some academies, not so much. And then professional, they do the best they can to have an actual expert in the topic. But it seems like the coach has, the coaches are trying to achieve some sort of strength and conditioning goals, however not truly knowing much about the subject matter. So at the same time, should this be is it fine for a coach not to know much about strength and conditioning because that's not part of their knowledge, or should they?
I think they should know some things. So if some, let's say, so some strength and conditioning coach arrives into the club, they need to know, they need to have some questions prepared for them to like, let's say, so ask them their opinion, and that those coaches know, okay, this is not like that what you told me, it's a different, or that they tried some traps like for strength and conditioning coaches, like what would you do if you have I don't know, some
Sure.
type of training or whatever. And I think that that it's the point where head coaches will, let's say, so give the trust to strength and conditioning coach, because also as I suppose as a lot of head coaches doesn't have like a good plan for some coach, for some team, for some club. Same as well, there are a lot of I call them thieves because they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge. Maybe you can maybe not have some experience, but you need to know something. You
Sure.
need to know something, and you need to show that. And that's why I think that the head coaches need to be like a little bit careful with choosing their stuff, because if you want to have, like, I would say 30% better chances to be a national champ, or whatever you whatever your, I don't know, achievement is for that
Sure.
club, you need to
Yes.
choose really carefully. You need to choose very carefully.
Okay, so that being said, what are some of the things? This is again, that's why I'm doing part of this. One of the reasons why I'm doing these interviews with different professionals, because um, I want to be able to share some sort of wisdom out there to anybody who doesn't have the support, who doesn't have a professional like you. So, quick question here is, what are some of the aspects of your job or a professional in strength and conditioning, physical trainer, that nobody sees?
Exactly. There are plenty of stuff, because that's why actually my name on Instagram is Man from the Shadow, because let's say so I to opinion of the bigger teachers and coaches than me, they say like in the football, the 35 to 40% of success is strength and conditioning.
35 to 40.
To 40, yeah. And
wow, that's what's being taught in Croatia.
Yeah, actually, like,
or
let's
in
say
Europe.
so.
In Europe.
Yeah, in Europe, let's say so.
Okay,
Because
modern day soccer. Interesting. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Because, like, let's say so, you take 35% or 40%. It depends, of course. If you're in a prep, you take a little bit longer of time of training. From training, that's why your success, your achievement of success is 35 to 40%, as they say.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of things to do actually that nobody sees. Like, let's say so, the goalkeeper, your goalkeeper coach, makes a big save, like, let's say so, jumps and reach 90 degree of the corner of the or the bar or whatever he wants to achieve, and saves a great free kick, and everybody will say, like, he's a great goalkeeper, he has a great goalkeeper coach. But behind that, you have, before training, you have the preps, so he can open that hip, so he can jump higher, so he can, like, uh, fire those motor units that he needs to fire rapidly to jump higher, and nobody sees that, and you analyze on which degree he opens that hip, can he open that hip, mobility, stability, biomechanic of that, exactly, also the jump height that he can jump, like, from free arms, and it's a great, so let's say so, counter movement jump, the counter movement jump, it can be done with arms on the hips, and it can be done with the free arms. And it's a big difference, which will you use for soccer, which will you not use. And those small details nobody sees that you do. Like, also we deal with the GPS system, how many kilometers, meters, in which like, let's say, zones do they run, because modern soccer, modern football is all about those, like, sprinting and high high running speeds, like, let's say so, that's the difference between, like, let's say so, Manchester City or Manchester United, and I don't know, some other clubs which are smaller and which are, like, not so famous.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
Is the investment in the technology portion as well as in the right staff, including strength and conditioning, plus the head coach, assistant coach, or coaches, goalkeeper coach, medical staff, and why not? So this is very important. This is extremely important. Your job is key to the success of your team or of your club. Now, let's talk about your team for a bit, because we're reaching the end. But how in the world, and by the way, how old are you now? So I can lead the question here.
I'm 24 years old.
Ladies and gentlemen, this amazing man is 24 years old. He has such a bright future, and you seem to already be a wealth of knowledge. And I love the fact that you are humble enough to say, I don't know it all, because we said it off camera, but I'm always learning. So you're hungry and thirsty for more. Now, how in the world does a 24-year-old becomes someone? Pretty much. How does a 24-year-old becomes a professional in the football world in your country, with a top club in Croatia? Because if I'm not mistaken, HNK Hajduk Split is one of the clubs up there, right? One of the clubs with the most reputation, right? Or is it the biggest one?
I think for the fans and I think we have the best fans, and we have, I think, the most fans in all Croatia. So
unbelievable.
We are the oldest club, and it's pretty amazing club. I got to admit,
Wow.
I can just
So
say
what
everything
happened?
best.
So what happened?
I had a plenty of luck actually. uh, at my first year of faculty of kinesiology, like you're a freshman, you're new, and they some professors say, "Oh, you will be the one." I can guarantee that. And I didn't know what they are saying about for what, why, because I was just like 19 years old and didn't know what's going on. And I was like on the internet, and it was summer, and I was just on my page of my faculty, and one post was like uh, volunteering for strength and conditioning in HNK Hajduk Split, and I said, I don't know, I want to do this, but there are like older guys than me that have like more knowledge, and they're better. I mean, I don't want to. And I talked with my brother, and he says like, you need to go. And I said, but bro, I'm just too young for that. I'm nobody. And he says, you need to go. You need to try. If you don't try, you will never know. And I said, okay, he's got a point. He's right. And I went, and he's now my mentor, Professor Mario Tomljanovic. He said, first time we meet each other, and he says like, oh my God, you're too young. And I said, I know, but, and I gave him my bio, and he reads like, and he says, this is nice, this is nice. And he asked for his colleges because he's also on the same college. And what grade did you have? And I said, like, I have, it's in the US, it's A, I think it's like 5.
Yeah,
it's
for
A.
sure. Yeah. When you have 90 up, is A. Yeah, sure.
And I was on one seminar already, which I paid for myself, from my pocket.
Wow.
And he says like, oh, you have a great passion. And I said, yeah, and you said like, you're really like brave. You came here, and it was plus 100 people that were waiting for a meeting. And I said, yeah, I want to try. And he says, I like that. And I was like, and he gave me the next appointment, and we were dealing with like speed ladders, and as I was like a football player before, I deal with that everything, and it was just like thing for me. And he says like, good, you will go with the president on the meeting. And I said, with which president? And he says, me and president of the club. And I said like, really? And it was like, okay. And then he called me and says
Wow.
like, president has a little bit of things. And I said, oh, this is nothing. And he says like, can you come for 2 hours? I need to speak with you. And I said, okay. And he says like, you want this? And I said, yeah, I want this. And what about your faculty obligations and things like that? And I said, I'm fine with that. I can be here all day if you want to. And he says, that's what I like. You don't need to be every day, but no, you need to not to be like all day. You need to be every day. I like you. And he says, this is for you. And I started to volunteering, and we had some meetings, which I was like looking, what did they talk about? And then you don't sleep. Actually, you don't sleep much.
Unbelievable.
You give your youth strength and conditioning. I can say that. It was like really hard time, but as I can say, I'm stubborn, really stubborn. When I want something, I'm going for that, and that's like the thing that my thoughts are, and my experience is, you need to do and give every single minute or second for that.
Yes.
So
for
every
sure.
single minute.
For sure.
And I know I had like nights where I could not fall asleep because I didn't know like what's maximal aerobic capacity or whatever. And we were, you hear something like from somewhere, mass. What's mass? And then you Google it, and then you ask your coach, and that was just like hitting
Wow.
into a wall, and then you
Yeah.
think and learn, think and learn.
Right.
And after I
Absolutely.
think 5 months, I got my first contract, and it was like, you're the youngest coach in the history. And I said, oh my God, yes,
Wow.
I am.
That is out of this
Uh,
world.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah,
out of the congratulations.
yeah. Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. I am so proud of you, man.
Yeah, I was then I was in the youth in academy, of course,
Yeah.
and slowly, I was assistant little bit for older coaches, for older strength and conditioning
Yeah.
coaches,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and time by time you learn, you know some things, you show yourself, and it was like a really great thing. And I'm really grateful for my professor, for also for one guy who learned me a lot of. It's Jakov Previšić. He's now
Jako
in
Brevišić.
yeah, he's now in Al Ain, actually, in Emirates, which is great. So I learned
Phew.
from him a little bit, and yeah, it's a great obligation to be with those
Absolutely.
guys. Yeah, now
Wow, Al
they
Ali.
are my friends.
That's a professional club down there. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
wow, that's
yeah,
amazing. And you've already been the coach of some important figures to the club and to the country, and you've met some of these iconic players of
yeah, exactly.
modern day
I
Croatia.
I mean,
Phenomenal.
it was great thing, but Ivo Grbić, he's now goalkeeper in Atletico Madrid. We used to
Yeah.
play once against each other, one against each
Wow.
other. And now I arrived to him as a coach, and he says like, "Oh my God, bro, come over here," and he gives me a hug because we know from back in the days, we know each other. And there is also Nikola Vlasic, who is the best Russian league player, I think now, back in 1 week, 2 weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
He got award for greatest Russian league player. So and I was coach to
Incredible.
him. He is like 1 year younger than me. It was amazing experience. I got that media, and it still is to know those guys. It's just wow.
That's you know what a beautiful journey. It's
Yeah,
exciting, it's adventurous, it's unique. Um, you are the living proof that despite our age, we can be young, but it shouldn't be a deterrent for us to stop seeking opportunities. However, we can never do things on our own. I'm so glad you had your professors, your mentors, and your brother telling you to go for it, especially your brother. I'm really thankful. And what's his name, by the way?
his name is Mario.
Mario, gracias. Because now now we
Yeah,
have a
thank you, my
quality trainer.
brother.
So I think we've reached the end. I really want to thank you for your time. And before I let you go, if it's okay with you, we have a lightning round. That is, I'm gonna throw one word or short phrase, whatever that is that comes to mind, and you give me your thoughts as fast as you could possibly can.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Okay, I'm going to try that.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll begin now. So now it's the lightning round, and we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Croatia.
uh, Big country. Do I need
Europe.
to?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Do I need to explain something or just to skip it?
So I mean, you can say one word, or you can say whatever comes to mind. If it's a phrase or a statement,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
whatever you think.
For my
It's a,
country, I will
yeah.
say a big country. A lot of good people. A lot of stubborn people, and a lot of big hearts. I would say a lot of big hearts.
Good.
Yeah.
Europe.
Europe. Oh my God. I'm not sure what to. tell you about that. I like
And that's
Europe.
fine.
I like Europe. It's fine.
Okay.
I've never been out of Europe, so yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
HNK Hajduk Split.
Champions,
Football.
football, passion,
Strength
passion.
and
That's
strength and conditioning.
a love.
How about the soccer ball?
The soccer ball. Love from the youth. It's the biggest toy. I think it needs to be the greatest toy of all the time. You can do whatever you want with her, it or whatever. It's on Croatian. It's lopta. It's she. So I
Yeah.
told her,
Yeah.
but it's
We do the same in Latin America.
yeah, exactly. So I think it's the biggest toy of all the guys that like everything. I mean, tennis, the ball is just amazing, amazing.
Who comes to mind when I say to you mentor?
Oh my, a big question. I will say Professor Mario Tomljanovic for sure. My grandpa actually.
Wow.
He's like from my youth. He has something that cannot be explained. He's really stubborn, uh, has best work ethic ever, and that's what I get from him. I think so. Uh, and I would say uh, one more professor. It's Professor Markovic, Goran Markovic, which is like I think maybe not one of the biggest name in Croatia. I would say.
Mhm.
So I went to his seminars, and that guy is just amazing. He, with all the guys that I follow, he is the one of the biggest name that I can say. With also plenty of other people, but he's one of the biggest that I could learn
Oh,
from.
that's great. That's great. That's what we want. Okay, and couple more education.
Education. I think I'm going for PhD. Uh, Probably. I don't know. It depends of
So it's
plenty.
important. It's
Uh,
important.
I think it
Yeah,
is. It's a big deal,
absolutely.
but for sure, some international educations for strength and conditioning definitely will be in near future when
Awesome.
this COVID pandemic stops. I think I'm going to hit something big, and for now that's it actually that I have a little bit messed because of this pandemic.
Sure.
It's problem,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think education, PhD, some educations to meet international, to meet
Right.
new people, and yeah,
Awesome.
it's great.
Awesome. Well, I think we're done with the lightning round. That was actually fascinating because we got to know a little bit more about you. But Coach Dario Anić-Kremić, thank you, muchas gracias for having being a part of my podcast, my show, and YouTube channel as well. I just wanted to say I'm really proud, and I hope that this is not the last time we talk, that you can come back to the show, but most importantly, that we can stay in touch and continue on with a good friendship. So thank you so
Uh,
much for being here.
thank you, Alex. The pleasure is mine for sure. It's great to meet also young person that has a passion for soccer that is great. I can say now that is a great friend and
Thank you.
that shares some same thoughts as I. So I think it's you same as I can say. You are also a big motivation to me to go on because I think that all we need is motivation, and I hopefully I motivated you as well
Yes.
with my age and my club and my history and everything. And yeah, that's what I want from this podcast, to motivate people that they can achieve everything, because if you want something you can get it, trust me.
Absolutely. Thank you for those words. I appreciate your kind words, and absolutely, you have in fact motivated me as well as a lot of our community. So thank you again. I wish you the very best. And the only thing left here is thank you so much for being a part of the Alex Way Show. You know that we are in the 10 most popular platforms, podcasting platforms, including Anchor.fm, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Also, you can find me with the hashtag the Alex Way and Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and pretty much kind of all over the internet. So, thank you for your support. Drop your comments for future ideas, questions for future guests, and like and share, subscribe. Check out more of Coach Darijo Anić-Kremić in the details. We have the links to his social media. And anyways, I hope that you have a blessed day. See you, everybody, and ciao.
You've been listening to The Alex Way. We're all over the internet. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn.